What's going on, guys? Today I'm back with another hat format replay review for you guys. If you're interested in sending in your hat format replays, you can go down to the video description and find all the information on how to go about doing that. But anyways, the match I have for you today, we have Velez, who is going to be on Nurseburn versus Ildika. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your guys' names, but Ildika, who is going to be on Bujin. So this should be a very interesting match, so let's get straight into it. Here, it looks like Ildika, I'm just going to call them Il, is going to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Gift Card, Waboku, Pot of Duality, One Day Apiece, and Reckless Greed. And on the other side, we see Upstart Goblin, Breakthrough Skill, Solemn Warning, Bujin Harume, and DD Crow. So unfortunately, not the best hand from Il here, but they will get to draw for turn. So here they get a copy of Carnation. So unfortunately, not the greatest card there, but they are going to go for Upstart. And they get a duality, so that is very good, revealing Compulse, Duality, and Yamato. So they did find a way to Yamato, so that is extremely strong here. Putting the others back here, they're going to summon Yamato and set to back row. End phase, use Yamato's effect to add Turtle and send Turtle over to Velez, who draws a copy of Trap of Darkness. Now, real quick, I am going to kind of explain this deck a little bit because it can be a little confusing, so I just want to go over a couple cards real quick. But obviously, Nurseburn, it's based off of Nurse Reficule, and I guess also like Bad Reaction to Samochi, which are basically cards that say when your opponent would gain life, they take the damage instead. So that's why you see cards like Gift Card that says your opponent gains 3,000 life, because if you have like one of those two cards I mentioned, then when you activate this, they're actually going to take 3,000 damage. And then the other card I want to go over real quick is this one here, Trap of Darkness. It says if your life points is 3,000 or less, pay 1,000 life points, and then you can basically target a normal trap in your graveyard, copy its effect, or this effect becomes that effect, and then the target becomes banished. But anyways, let's get started with this. Here they're going to go Duality, revealing Reckless Greed, Duality, and Hope for Escape. They're going to take the copy of Reckless Greed here, and after that, it looks like they are just going to set 3 back row. They set the Waboku, Reckless Greed, and what was it? Oh, that was double Reckless Greed, actually. And they're choosing not to use the One Day Apiece. I guess they want to play it as safe as possible. No reason to use this right away, especially because, you know, you're playing against Bujin, and they aren't exactly a deck that's going to OTK you or anything like that. Here, though, Il will get a draw for turn, getting a copy of Compulse, going to battle phase and just attacking in for 18, setting another back row, and going to end phase where they're going to use Yamato, this time adding Hair and sending Hair. And then back over to Velez, who gets a copy of Card-Card-D, so that's extremely strong. They're going to normal summon it, and it looks like Il is going to use the Warning, which is a pretty good call here. Card-Card-D is an extremely good card, and a lot of people just let this go through, but a lot of times, if Card-Card-D resolves, you can sometimes find yourself in a position where you're gaining a lot of advantage. I don't know if Il knows that Velez is actually on this burn type deck. I guess they did use duality, so they kind of got an idea of what's going on. So cutting off that Card-Card-D is actually extremely good here. Next, it looks like they're going to activate Reckless Greed, drawing into a Bad Reaction to Samochi and a Threatening Roar. Here, then activating the second copy, getting Hope for Escape and Waboku, so they're in a pretty decent situation here. Choosing to hold the Bad Reaction still, maybe they're just waiting till they can get them low enough. Though I guess if they set the I guess if they activated Waboku here and then set the Bad Reaction, set the Gift Card and the Trap of Darkness, then there was a chance to kind of go for, you know, a big push, but they still have too much life because Trap of Darkness needs to have, you have to be at 3,000 or less. So maybe they're just trying to, you know, play it out, let the damage come in a little bit and then kind of game them there, which, you know, at that point it makes sense if you can't just one-shot them here. But anyways, Il will draw a copy of Hair, which they're going to normal summon, banish the Turtle to summon Harume. Next, they're going to go to battle phase, and this is going to be a lot of damage. So they are going to take some of the damage here. Oh, they're actually going to take all of it. Oh no, they'd go Threatening Roar after the Yamato, I believe there. So they do have, you know, a bit less life here. They say it's good. Main phase 2, they're going to overlay for Direwolf. Okay, interesting. So trying to just clear out the back row. You know, we know that Velez isn't going to be able to draw because of the Reckless Greeds, so kind of cutting off as many resources as possible is very good here. So here they're going to go for the middle one, but Hope for Escape is going to be activated. That says if your opponent's life points is at least 1,000 higher than yours, pay 1,000 life points, draw one card for every 2,000 life point difference between your life points and your opponent's. So obviously here there is, basically I would say 4,000 difference, sort of. I think they're only going to get one draw here, because even if it was 4,000, they would be at 6,400, so they'd technically be over. So just getting one draw here, I believe. Yep, getting a copy of Upstart. And then from this point, Velez drew an Upstart, and they're just going to set some back row. And over to Ill, who gets a copy of Duality. Here, the bad reaction is going to be activated. I'm guessing this is going to be the standby phase. So they might be able to just end the game here. As I mentioned before, here they are going to activate the gift card on resolution. So they're going to take 3,000. Here, the Trap of Darkness is going to be activated, copying the gift card. And yep, that is enough for Ill to scoop it up. So they did end up doing that play I mentioned. They just had to wait till they were low enough in life. This time, Ill will be able to start out again, I would assume. Yep, they are. And opening hands here, we see Gift Card, Battle Fader, Card D, Reckless Greed, and Try and Guess. This is a really cool card. It says if each player has an extra deck, declare one extra deck monster, card type, fusion, synchro, or Xyz. Both players reveal their extra deck, and the player who has more of the declared type gains 3,000 life. So with the nurse and also with bad reaction, you kind of get the option, as usually this deck will play like some fusions or something, just so they always have the option if they need the life to gain it. Or if they want to just do the burn damage to the opponent, that's also a thing, because that way you can also make a bigger difference in the life totals if you have something like the Hope for Escapes or stuff like that, or if you're just trying to end the game. So really cool. But anyways, and then on the other side, they have Pot of Duality, MST, Bujin, Carnation, Tenki, and Lance. So again, a pretty solid hand this time from Ill. But again, it's just a weird matchup here. So let's see what they can do here. Drawing into a copy of Quillen. Here they're going to activate the Tenki, adding a copy of Yamato. After that, they're going to go Duality and add a copy of DD Crow, which actually might be kind of relevant after they saw the Trap of Darkness. And from here, actually, now that I think about it, didn't they have that in their hand the last game? Maybe I missed something there, but that might have actually been interesting. Here they're going to set some back row, go Yamato, and add the Turtle, send the Turtle over to Velez, who gets another copy of Card D. So they're going to set one, go for Card, and draw into Life Equalizer and Card D. I always like the Life Equalizer in this deck because, again, you do have the option to kind of widen the gap between the life totals. And then by getting, both players' life down to 3,000, you can kind of just one-shot them with the gift cards if need be. Moving along, though, let's see. In the end phase, MST is going to be activated, hitting the copy of Reckless Greed, which, doesn't really matter too much here, given they have the Battle Fader. So even if they felt threatened, they do have a way to kind of, prolong the game, I guess, and survive. Anyways, here it looks like Ill is going to draw a copy of Yamato, normal summon a Quillen, and go for some damage here. And Velez is going to take all of that, again, trying to kind of get a little low on life so that other cards will be live later on. Going to the end phase, Yamato is going to activate this time, going again, adding hair, sending hair. Here, Velez draws a copy of Upstart Goblin, which they're going to activate. And here is the nurse, finally, after all of, these turns that have gone by. This is the card I was referring to that says any effect that would make your opponent gain life points inflicts the same amount of damage to them instead. So really good card, again, paired with stuff like the gift card or the Try and Guess. That can be a lot of damage. So here, let's see what they're going to do. They're going to set 3 traps and then normal summon the Card D, trying to get more card advantage. And they get a Battle Fader and another copy of Try and Guess, so that's pretty good. Over to Ill, who gets a copy of Upstart of their own, going to activate it, getting another Lance. Then they're going to take the Yamato and Quillen and go for a Susanoo, detach the Quillen, add a Harume, maybe trying to make a big push here. So here they're going to normal summon the Yamato, banish the hair to special summon Harume. I guess they can kind of get rid of the hair here because they haven't seen anything that would, potentially destroy anything. So they don't really have that worry there. Here they are going to try to push in for a lot of damage, and the Fader is going to come down here. And then in the end phase, Yamato can add Mikazuchi. and send a lance. Let me just double check something here. Then send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. Yep. So I guess that's kind of funny. You never really see them discard anything besides Bujins. So pretty funny little interaction there. But yeah, sending the lance here over to Velez, who gets a bad reaction to Samochi. After that, they're going to normal summon the Nurse and set 2 back row. Here, they're going to activate Try and Guess and call Xyz. And I would assume that, you know, like I mentioned previously, that the Nurse deck usually plays some amount of fusions and stuff because it's the least likely typing. So, you know, almost always your opponent is going to have more of the other typings. So anyways, it looks like Ill is going to take 3,000 damage there. From here, another Try and Guess is going to be activated, so they take another 3, and then the gift card will close it out. So Velez ends up taking that one. Again, really cool showing from this Nurse Burn deck that you don't really see all too often. I had someone recently ask me to kind of show off this deck, so I figured, you know, why not? Here is a game for it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like on the video, comment any questions or videos you want to see in the future, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified anytime I put a new video out, share this video with your friends, and don't forget to go down to the video description to find out how you can send in your hat format replays. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.